Mornings with Simi, presented by Alpine Credits.
Just this Christmas, he was handing out illegal drugs on Christmas Day to people on the streets. So if you like getting free illegal drugs, you probably don't like me or ABC.
Whew, that is the original statement that, as we now know, got Vancouver Mayor Ken Sim in a lot of water. And he has spent pretty much the last week apologizing for this. And that has made it quite the week in local Vancouver politics, hasn't it? Now, I know that the mayor is trying to move on from this, but it's really hard having done what you just heard there. And there's still no really good explanation about what happened and why. Why would you do that? And for those wondering why this is still an issue, well, it's because it's one the Vancouver mayor himself has been on the other side of, and at that time definitely made it an issue. Councillor Sean Orr has said that he still hasn't decided if he's going to take it further, as in initiating a lawsuit. But we thought, let's talk about more of this now with our next guest. Vancouver mayoral candidate Kareem Allam joins us now. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me on, Simi. It's always a privilege.
What did you think watching all of this unfold over the past week?
Reprehensible, but we've seen a pattern of behavior with this mayor. And the latest iteration of this drama, and I think it's important to get some of your listeners caught up to speed, is that 2 days ago, Mayor Ken Sim said that he issued an apology in Mandarin and Cantonese and sent it to Chinese media. And we found out last night that Fairchild and two other Chinese media outlets hadn't even received that apology. So it just seems that from the beginning of this saga till now, we haven't had a single honest day's worth of answers from this mayor, and that's why I think the story continues on.
It also continues on as well, though, because of some actions in the past, right? I know you can't get too much into this because there is also litigation involved, but the mayor does not take kindly to rumors about him spreading, does he?
He doesn't take kindly to rumors about him spreading, but part of the pattern of behavior is him spreading rumors about his political opponents. Let's look back at his record. He tried to get rid of the Integrity Commissioner while he was under investigation from the Integrity Commissioner. He tried to get rid of the democratically elected park board, which he promised to strengthen in the last election without having a referendum. He manufactured evidence against the school board lunch program by saying that there were misappropriations of funds with the program. That was investigated and turned out to not be true. The Integrity Commissioner investigated his office 3 times, once with regards to Laura Christensen, twice with regards to Brendan Bastyovansky, and it was proven in those investigations that his office was manufacturing evidence. So we've seen a long history of patterns of him attacking his political opponents, manufacturing evidence against them. And that's not my opinion. That's the opinion of Vancouver's former Integrity Commissioner. So you can imagine in my case where Ken Sim has sued me, how I feel. I feel that some of the allegations that he's made have been manufactured against me. And in one specific incident, he stated that I was distributing flyers alleging that he had been drunk driving. And no one in the media, no one in the public has been able to ever identify these mysterious flyers that he's alleged that I was distributing.
Is this a distraction, do you think, or are people paying attention to this?
People are paying attention to this. Ken Sim is the only elected member of the Vancouver Police Board. Everyone else on that police board is appointed. I think he's raised serious questions about his judgment, his ethics, and his integrity. I think he's lost the moral authority to govern, and there's only one honorable thing left for him to do, and that is to resign. Now, if he doesn't resign, I think the voters will have to make that decision for him on Election Day.
Well, that's what I'm wondering about the election campaign. It's still months away, right? We're talking about an October election. But when you talk to people, what are they telling you about the issues?
Number one thing I hear, whether you're a New Democrat, whether you're a Liberal, whether you're conservative, is in Vancouver, we feel like we're paying a lot more and we're getting a lot less services. People are complaining about the fact that the property taxes have gone up by 26%, more than any other mayor and council in history. But meanwhile, garbage pickup gets cut from, once a week to once every 2 weeks. The quality of our parks seem to be deteriorating. Library hours seem to be shrinking. Everyone's complaining. We're paying more. We're getting less. And Ken was supposed to be the quote-unquote financial ninja that was supposed to clean up the fiscal mess at City Hall, and all he's done is made it worse. The other thing I keep hearing about is people in the city don't feel safer. Safety, I still think, will be, after the mayor's own challenges this week, I think safety will be the biggest issue this campaign.
Interesting. What about infrastructure? We know that the city of Vancouver also has a pretty big infrastructure deficit. How would you deal with that?
Well, the first part of the infrastructure gap is to realize how big it is. We're accumulating a $500 million a year deficit in deferred maintenance just on our sewer and water. But then if you add up all the community centers that are in disrepair, our swimming pools and everything, we're talking $20 or $30 billion worth of capital upgrades that are needed on an $800 million a year capital budget. One of the things that Vancouver has the ability to do that no other municipality does in the charter is to issue some bonds. I think we're going to have to go through a process of bond issuing. Rates are low. Vancouver's credit rating is in good shape, and start replacing some of these aging pieces of infrastructure. As this city is densifying, the infrastructure that we have is being used more and more and more and more and more. But we're also probably going to need some help from the federal government. There's literally hunks of the seawall falling into the ocean as we speak because we've done such a poor job as a city maintaining what we've got.
And what about the community center issue? And I've talked about this a lot too, and that is if you're going to densify, people need facilities to go to. People need community centers.
You're bang on. I released a park board plan 2 weeks ago that specifically addresses this issue. It wasn't too long ago that every 4 years we would build one brand new community center and we would refurbish two. Within this next 4-year term, I've made a commitment to getting back to doing one community center every 4 years and refurbishing three. We're now at a pace of doing one new community every decade. So you're 100% right. When I talk to parents, particularly parents, this is the number one issue of concern. School gets out in the summer. They get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to try to register their kids for programs, and the programs are all full by 4:05. This really is a huge, important issue for me. But again, one of the reasons why we haven't made any progress on this issue is because community centers are a park board responsibility, and Ken Sim decided to spend the last 3 years trying to get rid of the democratically elected park board rather than working with them on a capital plan and an operating plan to fill those community centers up with children.
Well, Kareem, thank you very much for your time on that today.
It was an honor. Thank you so much.
That's Kareem Allam, a Vancouver mayoral candidate. And we've talked to